is Vince Giordano speaking, and I had the distinct pleasure and honor of working alongside the great Al Gallodoro with my band, the Nighthawks, and also with the new Paul Whiteman Orchestra that we did concerts at Carnegie Hall and in Philadelphia. And his playing standard that just about no one could touch, whether he was playing a slow collie piece with so much feeling to some of the most fast passages that were unplayable by anyone else. You could count on Al Gallodoro to really bring this off and have people give him a standing ovation. And his musicianship can never be touched. And I'm so blessed that I saw and was part of this legendary man. And Al Gallodoro still lives, thanks to recordings.
Hello, this is Stanley Drucker. I was principal clarinet of the New York Philharmonic for 60 years, and I knew of the playing of Al Gallodoro, and was one of his fans. And long live the legacy of Al Gallodoro.
My name is Audrey Couples. I play saxophone. I've been in the Marine Band for 25 years, and I have to say that Al is truly a legend. He really inspired me for years, and he was the one who made me really want to double tongue. And he's a great teacher and somebody that I just have admired for years. So he's truly a legend.
Hi, this is Dan Levinson. I was a student of Al Gallodoro's for 2 years, from 1993 to 1995. He was my hero, he was my mentor, and he's the greatest saxophonist that ever lived.
My first recollection of Al Gallodoro was I was maybe 10, 11 years old, and I heard Oodles and Noodles. And I had just gotten a new Martin saxophone, and I was so enthralled when I heard him play. I couldn't imagine a saxophone sounding so great. And I started trying to play it. And just from then on, my admiration of him just grew and grew. And all through the years, I tried, I always modeled my playing, a lot of my playing after what he did. And just like so many other woodwind saxophone players around the city, sax and clarinet, he was always the model of he and mostly him through me, but he and Jimmy Avato were the two standard bearers through our era.
Hi, this is Tristan Willems calling from Norway. I began studying with Al in the autumn of 1975 at a small college in New York called Nassau Community College, where he was on staff. And my bassoon teacher at the time had steered me to Nassau Community College just to study with Al and to continue with him privately as well. I did study with Al for 4 years until June of 1979, when I went to Northwestern University. I had a reverence for him, as most students have for their teachers. Part father, part educator, part priest. And everything that Al said, I took to heart. And besides of the stories that Al told, he's renowned for his photographic memory. He could tell you what color tie a guy was wearing at lunch in 1947 at Café Del Art in New York City. Outside of that encyclopedic and photographic knowledge, all you needed to do was just watch the man, and you could learn volumes. This is a man who practiced 6 hours a day and then went to work. And then after work played in the jazz club. He lived, breathed the saxophone. He told me a story that he used to ask his wife Mary to drive the car so that he can be in the back seat and practice while they were driving somewhere.
Hello, this is Dale Underwood. I'm
was a saxophone soloist with the United States Navy Band in Washington, D.C. for 30 years, and I'm now currently professor of saxophone at the University of Miami for our School of Music. I first met Al. I first met Al, but knew about him, of course, when he was my saxophone teacher, Don Cinta, gave me a recording in high school and said, "Listen to this." And I listened to it, and it was just like, how can anybody do that? And the impression was, nobody should be able to do that.
We had finished the interview, and he wanted to take me to this restaurant that was actually across the street from the bus station, which was good because I had to go off to Binghamton afterwards. So I said goodbye to Al and proceed to walk across the street with my luggage to get to the bus station, which is right there. And I just, he offered to drive me, and I said, no, it's not necessary because, it's right there. I'm just going to walk. It'll take me 5 minutes to walk across the street and sit and wait for the bus. So I start on my way. I make my way across the street. And the next thing I see is a car following behind me, and it's Al, working his way to the to the bus station. And by now I finally, take a seat, and I'm sitting down, and I see Al pull in to the bus station into where the taxis stalls are, which isn't really where you're supposed to park, but, Al didn't, at that point, 93 as he was, really could have cared less. And he came and he joined me until the bus finally came to take me back, on my way. And I always thought that was very special because he really didn't have to do that. The whole point was that he could just drive home after the interview was over. But I just thought that was so remarkable that he would take the time to, just talk that I really thought it was special.
This is John Dertinger, and I'm talking about the wonderful Al Gallodoro, who I had the great pleasure of playing with for about 12 years. We started playing around 1967 or 68, and with the last job that we played was New Year's Eve, 1980, in at the Deer Park Jewish Center. It was a trio, myself, Al, of course, and a drummer. Larry Fine was the drummer, excellent drummer. In fact, it was funny that night because we were sitting down on the break, and a man comes over to us, and he points to Al. He says, "I know who you are." Al looked, "What are you talking about?" He says, "I have your album." And with the rabbi of the temple, he went next door, brought it in, and he had Al's, I think it was the Contrasts album. But anyway, Al was just so super. We played so many interesting dates, from house parties to boats, West Point, Shelter Island, Gurney's, catering houses. He was just unbelievable. He was Superman. I used to call him the eighth wonder of the world. He was comical. He was gourmet. He knew everything. I never ever heard him play or miss a note. He was just one of a kind. He was such a great guy. I love him. I miss him. I dream of him a couple of times a month. Either we were driving someplace or we were on a job, and we had a lot of fun.
Hi, my name is Frank Gallodoro. I'm Al Gallodoro's brother, his younger brother, of course. And I would just like to say that the highlight of my musical career has to be attributed to my brother. He was so great, such a wonderful player that it was like going to a conservatory sitting next to him. He taught me everything I knew and responsible for any success I may have enjoyed in this music business.